Today, I'm super excited to share with you this appointment confirmation and reminder workflow that I've built inside of GoHighLevel. It uses Sendblue's iMessage integration, which is totally changing the game when it comes to how businesses reach out to their leads, build trust, and actually get leads to respond to text messages. This exact workflow has been active in our company for just a couple of months now, and we've seen over 6,000 appointment show-ups because of it. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I'm going to dive right into it and show you exactly how the system works. Just before we get into the build of this workflow, let's look at what our leads are going to see when they book an appointment with us. So first, we're going to receive that appointment. We're going to send them a first iMessage. We're going to wait 6 seconds and send them a second iMessage here. Then our system is going to wait for a reply for 2 hours. If we don't receive a reply, we're going to send them a third iMessage, and our system's going to wait again. If we receive a reply after that, our system is going to send them a voice message through iMessage. We're then going to wait again, and our system is going to send out another text message, an iMessage, about their appointment. An hour and 6 minutes before their appointment, it's going to send them a video, an introduction video. And then 6 minutes before the appointment, it's going to send them another voice message. And finally, 5 minutes before the appointment, it's going to send them a Zoom link. All right, so let's get into the actual build of the appointment confirmation and reminder workflow. I'm actually in GoHighLevel right now. This is where I will be building out this entire automation. So this workflow starts off by someone booking an appointment with you. Whatever way in which they are booking their appointment, whether that be through GoHighLevel directly, whether that's a booking page on Calendly, or it could even be via iClosed, which is what we use here at Sendblue, you need to be sure that you're collecting phone numbers in your booking page. If you're not collecting phone numbers, this automation and this workflow cannot exist. So ask the people's name, and the second question on that booking page should always be their phone number, because we need it to send out these confirmations. So once you get those booking details into GoHighLevel, the first step that we want to be doing here in our workflow is waiting a couple of minutes before sending out our first text message. The reason that we're doing this, specifically 5 minutes here, is because if you are sending out a text within the first 1 or 2 or 3 minutes of them booking an appointment with you, they know that that text is automated. That is a normal behavior that they are used to seeing from all these other companies out there. The second that they book that appointment, they receive an automated text, and most likely they ignore that text, or they even opt out of that text messaging because they don't want to be reminded constantly about that appointment. With iMessage though, we do things differently. We want to engage our lead in a conversation before that appointment. We want to get details from that lead before that appointment. We want to build a relationship before that appointment. And so therefore, we can't seem like our texts are automated. We have to make them seem normal and human and seem like an actual person is texting them. So that's why one trick that we could do here, a very simple trick, is just delaying by 5 minutes our first initial text outreach, because it's going to seem unusual from what they're used to seeing, which is automated text coming in within 1 minute. The next step of our workflow here is to set the event time of that appointment. We need to know what the specific appointment date and time is for us to be able to trigger specific text, voice messages, and videos later down the line. So in this case here, we're just going to be using and simulating an appointment being booked by GoHighLevel. But if ever you got these through Calendly or through iClose, you can just come and put the custom tag down here. So the first initial iMessage that we will be sending out, yes, I did say iMessage, I did not say SMS, is going to be this following text message, which is a light introduction of yourself and the company. So you're going to say, hi, contact name. This is your name from company name. So in this case here, mine would be, hey, John, this is Tristan from Sendblue. What you need to notice here is that we are writing text differently from what you are probably used to seeing with SMS. With SMS, you're most likely trying to cram as much information as possible in that one text message that you're sending out to a prospect when they've booked an appointment, because you're getting charged for that text. And so you're introducing yourself, you're introducing your business, you're talking about the appointment and its time, and then you're probably asking them a question or making sure that they do this before an appointment, all within one text, which just screams spam. With iMessage though, we're not limited by the number of texts that need to be sent out. We don't get charged for those texts. And so therefore we can break up our texts into 1 or 2 texts, which we're going to be doing right here, like you could see in the second text message. What we want to do though, before sending out that second text message that's going to follow up on the first one, is add a short little delay, a little 6 seconds, because once again, this just feels natural. It feels as if, you were typing, took you 6 to 10 seconds, and then you sent out that second text message. Once again, mimicking human behavior, even though it's just mimicking. This is actually a workflow. The second text that you'll be sending out is a very light text where you are asking them something. You're doing a call to action. Super excited about our call coming up. Is this a good place to send some action items before we meet? Our goal with iMessage is to engage a prospect in a conversation before an appointment. And so therefore, we need to get that person to reply. If we don't get them to reply, this whole automation is useless. Something else that I want you to notice in this text message that I personally added because it mimics my type of texting is forgetting to capitalize a first letter of a text message because it just seems so normal to be doing that. Next step is to wait for a reply. So we're going to wait 2 hours for our prospect to reply. If they do reply, they're going to go down this branch. If they don't reply, they will be going down this branch, which we'll be exploring in just a couple of minutes. So if that lead responds within those 2 hours, they are going to be brought into this specific branch of the workflow. And once again, what we're doing here is we are always adding short little delay periods so that our text messages are not just getting fired off 1 to 2 second delay. No, we want to seem like we are taking the time to read those text messages and then typing them and sending them. The other thing that we are adding to this wait section here is a logic where if a lead were to book an appointment at 3 a.m., it makes no sense for you to be able to send out voice messages and videos at 3 a.m. So what we're doing here is we're basically waiting until 9 a.m. or up until 5 p.m., which are normal working hours, before sending them any type of media like voice messages or videos, which we'll be doing down later in this workflow. And once again, this is just so that people don't know that this is an automation. You need to make them feel like you are actually the person sending out these voice messages and these videos and these texts in real time. Next here, we're going to be sending out a voice message. The reason that we could send a voice message here is because our lead replied to our text. If they didn't reply, it is not suggested to be sending out any type of media of any sort to a lead because that could get you potentially blocked by Apple if you're doing that. So to send the voice message here, we wrote a little script that you could follow, which is just basically a quick introduction of yourself to that lead. Your goal is to gain trust quick, and a voice message is a great way of doing that. So to do this voice message, what I recommend doing is you could hop into your phone and go into your voice memos right here, and we're just going to be doing a quick little example of what it could look like. So you're going to say something like, you're going to click record and say, "Hey, what's up? This is Tristan from Sendblue. I thought I'd shoot you this little voice message to just properly introduce myself before we have our phone call together tomorrow. On this call, we're going to be talking about how you could bring iMessages to your CRMs to double your replies in your business. And so, yeah, if you have any questions before the call, just text me back here. This is my personal cell phone, by the way." So once you're satisfied with that voice message, what you're going to do is you're going to send yourself that voice message via email or an airdrop to your computer. And we have to actually come and put the voice memo URL here in the workflow step. And to do this, we have to go store it in the CRM file storage of GoHighLevel. So we're going to come here in the media storage and we're going to upload our M4A or MP3 audio file. And then we're going to come and get the link of it so that we can now paste it up in here. Now, once you've done that, what we also want to make sure that we're doing is removing the content that we've put here. This was just an example of what to say. You just want to make sure that you are sending them a voice message URL here, which is going to end up being a native voice message on their iPhone that they can click and listen to. Now, we're just going to go back for a little second here and check out what needs to be done if a prospect does not reply to a message within 2 hours. All we're trying to do here is to get them to reply. So if they don't respond within 2 hours, we're going to send them another text, which is just going to be asking them, is this contact name? So is this John? Once again, we're going to wait 6 hours. If they do reply to that message, we're going to bring them straight back into our workflow with the wait period and with the voice message that we just sent. And if they don't reply once again to that text message, we are going to right here add another message, which is going to be still able to make the meeting. So just trying to get them to reply. If they don't respond to that message, what we're going to be doing is just bringing them back into our workflow, because we still want them to receive the next follow-ups that we will be sending out. We just won't send them though to the voice message. We're going to send them to this new branch under the voice message, because ideally you don't want to be sending them any type of media, whether that be videos or links or voice messages, before you get a reply. The next step of our workflow here is to wait a very specific amount of time before sending out another text after that voicemail or after that lead hasn't responded. And it's going to be to wait 22 hours and 37 minutes before that appointment time. Now, this might seem odd to you, but it's very, very intentional. We don't want our texts to be always sent out on the hour. We don't want them to be sent out at 9 a.m., at 9:30 a.m., at 9:15 a.m. No, what we want to be doing is seeming like we are texting our leads whenever we think of texting our leads, because that's something that automation can't think of. And so it's very intentional here when we are trying to space out these texts at very odd times of the day, such as, let's say, 9:17 a.m. So add this little time delay here, and afterwards we're going to add a drip mode. You could understand that a lot of our contacts are going to be waiting on this step, and so we don't want them to then go to the next step of the workflow all at once. We're just going to be delaying them and dripping them within a small little interval. Now, the text that will be sent out 22 hours and 37 minutes before the appointment or the meeting is going to be this casual, looking forward to our call tomorrow, contact name, so looking forward to our call tomorrow, John. And then once again, we will be waiting an hour and 6 minutes before our next text, which is actually going to be a video here. So once again, very intentional, not on the hour. We want this to be set a couple of minutes off from the hour. Once again, we're going to drip it just because a lot of contacts are going to be stuck at this specific stage, and so we want to delay them and to drip them so that we're not overcrowding our workflow. And here we are going to be sending out a video before the call. If we could ease them by showing our face on a video before they hop on a call, they're much more likely to show up and trust us and want to get on a phone call with us. So all you've got to do here is take a video of yourself, pull up your camera, don't be scripted, and just warmly introduce yourself. Once again, just say what you're going to be talking about on that call, and just do it so that you warm up the lead before you get on a phone call with them. So we're going to do it together right now. You're just going to take your phone and you're going to say, "Hey, what's up? This is Tristan from Sendblue. We've got a phone call here in just about an hour. So yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you, see how we could help you bring iMessages into your workflows so that you 2x your replies, 2x your bookings, and 2x the amount of deals that you're making, because people will trust you when you text them. So yeah, I'll catch you in a bit." Something like that, super casual. Just show up on that video, be yourself. Very similarly to what we did before on that voice message, we are going to send that video now to our computer, and we're going to go add it to the CRM file storage, which is in GoHighLevel. So I've already added it right here. What you're going to do is actually click on this button here and get the link to the video you just uploaded, and then you're going to paste it in the media URL that is right here. And once again, take off the content here. I can almost guarantee you that when your prospects are receiving that video from you before their call, they will show up. They will feel guilty now not showing up to that call because you took the time to make a video for them and to show up and to build trust. So sending that video here is something that we've seen being a huge game changer in having people show up to your meetings. So let's continue down. We're almost done here. 6 minutes before the call. Once again, we're just going to drip these contacts into our workflow, but we're going to be sending them a voice message. The goal of the voice message here is to just remind our prospect of the Zoom call that we have in literally just about 6 minutes from now, but not doing it in a boring way. Our goal here is not to sound automated where you're sending out a text that says, "Hey, a reminder, you have a call coming up in 5 minutes." We want to build trust. Once again, our last little effort to build trust with our prospect before they show up to that meeting, and sending a voice message is a really great way of doing that. So what we're going to do is just hop back into our voice message section on our phone, and just record something that goes a little bit like this. So you're just going to say, hey, what's up? I ended my last call early, so I just wanted to send you this quick little voice note before we meet in a couple of minutes from now. I am already in the meeting, so I'll send you the Zoom link right now, but no rush if you can't make it just at this moment. I will see you in just about 6 minutes. Just something like that. Something very low effort, but something that's going to remind them to come to your meeting because you spent so much time and so much money to get these people to this stage. The last thing that we want is for them to not show up. So finally, we're just going to wait 5 minutes now before the call. So this is just 1 minute after you send out that voice message, and we're going to send out that Zoom link right here on their phone so that they don't have to go to their computer and open up that Zoom link on their computer. That's one extra step that they would have to make and one extra reason for them not to show up because their Zoom didn't update on their computer or whatnot. No, just send it to their phone and that's it. That's the workflow that is pretty much going to guarantee that your prospects are showing up to your call. The reason that they will show up is because you went the extra mile. All these businesses out there are sending out the same boring, simple, spammy SMS, text, and email that are just constantly reminding people to show up to an appointment. But by implementing this workflow in your business, you're being different. You are adding personality. You're adding tone. You're engaging that lead in a conversation before the appointment. If you want to start using this iMessage tool that we've been showcasing through this entire workflow to send out voice memos and to send out videos and to send out texts that don't look spammy like your regular SMS text and that land blue, check out the link under this video where I can actually text you a demo of this exact workflow. If you want to see what it's going to look like from your iPhone and how you can interact with this workflow, just click the link, add your name, add your phone number. You'll be enrolled into this exact funnel and you could see what that actual voice message and that actual video and those actual text messages look like on your personal iPhone. So yeah, click the link. We'll talk soon and I'll catch you over text.